Hello, welcome to Charmed Persons. This is Charmed Reads, semicolon, Red Rising. I am Eric.
It's just colon. I don't know why it's a
It's just a
semicolon.
colon. I don't know why I said semicolon. Off to a great start.
Everyone
Welcome
be
to
ready
our
to-
intellectual book talk.
Everyone, 3 out of the 4 of us are wearing glasses, so you know
ready.
Oh man.
that we can read.
I can't read, I guess, but I'm
Confirmed.
still
We
here.
can read.
Well, you did the audiobook, so it's
What's
fine.
up,
I did
B?
do the audiobook, so for all you know, I can't read.
What's up, Inked Eldritch?
What up?
Yeah.
Who
Thanks
up
for joining us.
charming they
Okay.
persons, is what B said.
We're going to be talking about Red Rising. We're going to be fully spoiling it, so if you haven't read it,
Yeah.
or just want to hear us talk about it, that's what we're doing tonight. I mean, you guys know us, but I'm Eric.
I'm Zach.
Emily.
Oh, dang it.
I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm Kelsey.
Eric, you got a compliment on your cardigan.
Oh, thank you. It's a
Isn't it?
cheap Halloween Big Lebowski one that I still wear because it's kind of comfy.
It looks great.
It is cute.
This week we still got a bunch of shows. We have Strahd tomorrow at 7
Jeez.
Central. We have Back to Campaign 3 on Sunday we're doing noon, right? Our normal time, noon
Yep.
Central.
Normal time.
Monday, big Talk With Me episode.
Big.
I wouldn't say it's our
Huge.
biggest. I wouldn't say it's our biggest.
Oh wow.
Oh, hold on. No, it's our
Oh,
biggest.
it is
episode.
the biggest.
Okay.
Glide's
It's
just
our
I'm like
biggest
on the
deal.
edge of my seat, like, huh?
The episode's title is Roads Less Traveled. So make sure to check that
Huh.
out. And I'm
What was that?
pulling up the Twitch.
What?
And then we're doing Monster Hearts a week from tomorrow, right? That's the next one after that.
Yeah.
And then just follow us on social media, join our Discord,
Discord.
and
Yes.
that's about it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, get your fake fireplace. Get it.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're gonna be.
Okay,
We can
bye.
read the chat in this
Oh,
thing
yeah.
because we're not.
Yeah, we can be a
role-playing,
lot
So
more
we're
amazing.
reading the chat. Let's pull up the chat. Talk to him.
Pull up the chat.
Nice.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, chat.
Chat, is this real?
Chat, are you
Yes,
real?
it is.
We
Chat,
should
are you
probably talk about the book that we're here to talk about.
Oh yeah, Red
Yeah.
Rising
Somewhat.
by Pierce Brown. So the way that this started, literally, is Eric showed us a picture of all the books he just got, and Red Rising was one of them. And Kelsey was like, "Oh, I want to read Red Rising," and I was like, "Oh, I did read the first third of Red Rising and then stopped for reasons. I'll jump back in." And then Emily was like, "Sure." And so we started a buddy read on Storygraph. Shout out
Yes.
Storygraph. Hashtag
Which is really cool.
sponsored.
I
Hashtag
really
not
like
sponsored.
the book.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Storygraph helped me discover last year that I had read a book that was part of a trilogy, and I had no idea. And I'd only read the first book, and it was a really nice surprise.
Oh my
Nice.
god, hype for Storygraph. Let's go.
Honestly, the buddy read is really cool. Once again, not sponsored, but I'm going to give them an ad anyway. The buddy read, you get to read along with your friends, and you update your percentage in the book as you're reading, and you can make comments and have discussions and stuff. But people who are not at your percentage, they won't be able to see your comments, so they won't get
Yep.
spoilers or anything.
Spoiler
like that,
free.
which is nice.
It's so
Yeah, it's
nice.
really nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of
So
fun.
nice.
So we read it, right? Everybody read
Yep.
it.
Yep.
You read it.
Finished
And
it,
just
yeah.
for some fast facts, this book came out in 2014. I thought it was older,
Oh wow.
but
Oh,
also
interesting.
2014 is 11 years ago. So maybe that
Whoa.
says
Feels
like,
about
wait a
right.
minute, that's actually quite old.
Yeah.
And fun fact, the author's only 37.
Wow.
Oh, so he was
Crazy.
26? Or no,
So-
yeah, 26 when he came out?
Jesus.
Feels
Like
bad,
younger
bro.
than all that.
Good for you.
Feels
Now he's on
bad.
like the
Wow.
7th book or something? No, it's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there's talks of movie rights.
Not
I'm sure it will eventually.
Not surprised.
True.
How
Yeah.
many sequels are there to this book?
Yeah, we only read the first book. full
Yeah, we've
disclosure.
only
This is
read
only
Red
the first
Rising.
book.
One
I know
book.
Golden Sun came out.
There's a
2000.
trilogy that I think encapsulate maybe Darrow's story. I don't know. This is just me. I haven't read anything
Fair.
beyond the first one. And then there's like a couple after that that's still.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think you could read
Red
the first three.
Rising,
And it works
Golden
as a
Sun,
trilogy.
Morning Star, Iron Gold, Dark Age, and Lightbringer.
Okay.
That's a
I
lot of
honestly,
book.
It's a
The
lot
big
of
thing
book.
about my big takeaway from this book is like I would be interested to see where this goes. So it makes sense
Yeah.
that there's a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
It's a lot of
sequels.
setting up the world, yeah.
The full
Well,
world.
Bees, if you are thinking about giving it a try, I hope you don't mind that we're about to talk about every aspect of it.
Yeah, so good, man. We're gonna talk about this book.
Okay, so
Oh, Mistborn. Yeah, I feel like if you like Mistborn,
I need to read Sanderson.
Mistborn's
I've
great.
read
Mistborn's
this
Sanderson.
could be good. This feels a little Sanderson because it is science fiction.
yes.
Well, is
It's-
it?
Dystopian.
I was
real
duped.
sci-fi.
This says science fiction. It did not
does.
feel like science fiction to me, but
No,
it
it-
felt more like a dystopia than a
Yeah.
science fiction, which I consider
It's sort of it slides from science fiction to more dystopian fantasy
Straight up
as
fantasy.
the
Yeah,
book
I
goes
think
on.
it's fantasy. I think it's fantasy in a sci-fi setting.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Is kind of
Well
how I would
said,
describe
well
describe Red Rising. Stormlight Archive is amazing if you don't mind reading a Bible every book. But
Starlight
if you,
Archive, I love it.
but if you don't mind reading a Bible every book, it is a great fucking series.
Because they're long. Is that what?
They're so
Or,
long.
or is there just so much Jesus Christ?
It's just all about
throughout?
Jesus.
There's
Right.
a lot of parables and
Real
proverbs.
Jesus people.
A
in it.
thousand plus
disciples.
pages each book.
Yeah, and you guys
Okay.
know, I mean, this group knows, like, I am not a reader. Like, reading comes hard to me, and yet even I pushed through and read the first 3 books so far of the Stormlight
Oh, wow.
Archive.
Okay.
And Alien
So.
Jesus, honestly. What the hell are y'all
Yeah,
reading?
actually, no, for real, Alien Jesus is a part of
Oh my
Stormlight Archive.
God.
Um,
Any dang
yeah,
way.
it's
We should
great.
probably
Anyway.
give a high level of this book just so we give the general.
yeah, Kelsey,
sense
do you want to
of
give a
what this
plot
is,
synopsis, high level?
Yeah.
right? I'm trying to Google
Your
it. It's
your
not
your
coming
prepared
up.
plot synopsis.
I absolutely have a prepared plot synopsis. It is a 2014 dystopian science fiction novel. I am not reading this on a page. No, it is so it's set in the future, I think, futuristic vibes on Mars. And we start with understanding that this world is split into classes. We even find out about the other colors. Anyways, the
we do,
world
yeah.
itself.
Yeah, the
There are
gold and the
different
gray.
colors. Red is sad and bad because
Yep.
they're very low, and then you've got the golds on the top and everything in between.
It's
And
very
every
reminiscent of the
color-
caste system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got different colors, and they're all responsible for different things. And the reds is where we start the story because our main character Darrow is a red. It's sort of like miners, and they're told this story like
In both
your
senses of the
work-
word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
they're like 16 years
They're
old.
like 16, which we'll get into. I think that'd be a good topic to discuss because my goodness, they do not talk like 16-year-olds. But I mean, they're sort of like just told that, you know, all the work that you're doing and all this backbreaking labor is paving the way for humanity to come to Mars. You are going to be the saviors of humanity. And once they come and once it's all ready and once the atmosphere is built, you guys are going to get to be heroes and treated great. We find out through that that's all a lie. And it sort of turns into then Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Am I not mistaken?
It turns
Basically.
into like
They
it turns
say
into a
him
cat. It's like a academia trope,
Yeah.
Hunger
They
Games mashup kind of a
turn
thing.
him into a gold somehow.
Which it seems like they
Painstakingly,
somehow
apparently.
are
Yeah.
like the golds are biologically different, maybe because
Yes.
of like evolution or something, but they
Which
have
they
to
talk
like
about, like,
Also
replace
money.
all of his
Eugenics
skin.
almost.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I mean it's crazy.
Yeah, they have the capabilities of. I mean, but apparently not a lot of. He's the only one, or they thought he was the only one to survive this painstaking
But he's not.
procedure
Wait.
of becoming a gold. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, and then they send them into this like team on it's like Hunger Games but teams,
Yeah.
and
There's like 7
Basically,
castles
that's
that
the
are fighting
majority
out.
of the book. For some,
Yeah,
so
basically
it's
the main
kinda
character
wild.
Darrow is recruited by this group called the Sons of Ares, who is trying to champion the lower classes and the lower colors, and their thought process of doing so is to turn a red into a gold, to infiltrate gold society and then take it down from within. So we see Darrow on the first part of that journey, basically just succeeding at the test of becoming a member in the gold society, and that's kind of where the book ends. And then the rest of the series, I'm assuming, is him continuing to try to cement himself.
And maybe it's
you know.
actually sci-fi.
I will say
Maybe.
the next book I read the
Yeah.
first literally just the first chapter of the next book, Spoilers, it takes place 2 years later. And he is the captain of a ship, and like they're doing like a similar like game test thing, except he's starting like at the end of it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I love their
You can
games.
see how it would get back to being sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to. That's why I like picked this book. 'Cause I didn't really know anything about it, and I saw it like it was always being recommended, and I was like, cool,
Yeah.
sci-fi, love terraforming, and then it was done. The
Wasn't about
terraforming's already done.
terraforming at
It was
all.
not
What a
at all.
bummer.
So like,
So
yeah.
am I really the only one who didn't see that twist coming?
Which twist?
The twist of like not only is it terraformed, but it's been
No.
terraformed for centuries.
I didn't see it coming.
And like I mean that was crazy.
But I
to
also
me.
was a little lost. I will say I was a little lost for probably the first half of the book. So I was
Yeah.
listening to it and I would kind of be like, I would
It's a
have to go
tough
back.
book to listen to. It's a
I
tough
was like,
book to
this
listen
is
to.
I
really
listened to it
tough.
as well.
Yeah, so I'd say the audiobook is a challenge.
You're thrown
You
a
guys did the
lot of
audiobook?
info.
You did the ebook?
I did the Kindle, yeah, and you did the
So
physical.
we got all different forms represented. How
Wow,
was the
Wow.
audiobook?
well-rounded perspective.
Not
I didn't
great.
get the full, but there's a different version of it that's like a full cast.
Oh, that'd be
Oh, yeah, I
cool.
didn't do that
Recording. I didn't.
They're
do
starting
that.
to do that more and more with more popular books, which I think is
Yeah.
interesting.
They have it for the sequels too, as far as I can see. So
We're basically just going back in time to radio plays.
that stresses me out. I don't know if I'm willing to commit to a full radio play vibe, but I don't know. So I don't know. I was. What did you think of the narrator, Emily? I'm curious.
I thought he was,
was
kind
Scottish,
of intense.
right?
It was, yeah, Scottish, which I love. What? No, was he
I love
Scottish? What
accents.
was he?
It was definitely. I can't remember if it was a British accent.
In that vein.
or-
It's
But
Mars.
I love an audiobook reader with an accent. I
Me
mean,
too.
sometimes I'll pick an audiobook just because it's set somewhere that I want to listen to.
Yeah, 100%.
I thought he was good. It made more sense to me once Zach was explaining to me like how it's written, and it's
Mhm.
written in this like really choppy kind of way.
It's really truncated.
And as
Yeah.
soon as I like understood that, the audiobook, the way it was being read, made a little bit more sense to me.
That was cool. He shifted his accent when he shifts his accent because he
To
has
a
to
gold.
change his accent from a
Yes.
red to a gold,
Yeah.
and he goes from this like more roguish accent to
Yeah.
a more posh British accent. So I appreciated that.
There was literally
Did you
one
do that?
day
I did too.
where I listened on my way to the doctor or something, just to like I was reading the book and I wanted to keep reading it, so I like I went to Spotify because you can get a certain amount of free
Yeah.
hours, and I just went to the chapter that I was on, and yeah, he would really change his accent to like the
Would it
upper
be from like
class would
his
be really
inner
crusty.
monologue to when he's talking to other people? Is his inner monologue
No, it was
changed?
at
That was a little difficult.
Yeah,
At
it was at the
times.
shift mainly when he is like being trained to be a gold, and
Yeah.
then he's actually out doing the shit. He then switches.
I
to
can
his-
imagine
So even
first
thinks
person
like a gold at that point.
Yeah, I can imagine first person point
Now
of view
we're
is
fancy.
hard with audiobooks because you never know when they're talking or when they're thinking.
And there
Yeah.
was a lot of them just, there was
That's
a lot of
true.
him like talking to himself and having to like kind of make some assumptions about what was happening.
And
Yeah,
everybody
did he
had a
just say that out
nickname,
loud?
and I was so lost. There's so
Yeah.
many characters,
Lots of
Who the
characters.
Because they have
hell
like
is
one
that?
name, then they have like another name, and then like they have another name that
and
somebody
then they
else
have
calls
another
them.
name, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what is happening?
And,
And then
uh,
they have their house name,
which is like a
but then they also
full-
have their other
Yeah.
person. There's a person who's in charge.
Mhm.
There's a
What was
lot
nice-
of people.
About the physical book is that it has a map in the first part of
The
it.
ebook had
So
it
it was
too.
nice
yeah.
That would've been
to go
useful.
back and refer to that as he was talking.
However,
Never
when I
listen
first
to
looked at that
dense
map-
Fan-
books,
When I first looked at that map and I was reading the first like 10% of the book, I was like, when does this map? When would this map
I
ever?
was like,
come
why are
into
there
play?
castles? Why-
Like I was.
I
so
should have known
thrilled.
then as soon as I got it. that it
I
was-
love maps and books too, Ink Eldridge. I think if I open a book and there's a map
Yes.
at the front, and if there's like that listing of like dramatis personae or something like that, where it's like the list of like who people are, it's basically like a little like
I would have
encyclopedia.
loved that.
It's awesome. When I see that in a book, I'm like, oh, I'm jumping in. Here we go.
We've got
I
That
want to
scares me away because I'm like,
I
there's
like
too
books
many
with an
things to pay attention
appendix
to.
at the end. I give me
Thank
so
you.
much world lore.
I love
Yeah.
books. I eat that up. I love maps and books.
Yeah, I love world lore. I
Yes,
love
chat.
world building. I think that's so much fun. Okay, so
Yeah.
we had the twist, and then we got to see what the world
Yeah.
was really like with the golds floating around and the pinks sucking everybody off. I don't know, it was pretty crazy.
Well, but there's a whole color just for sex.
I
Like,
know, yeah.
all right.
Do they tell him when they're like, he's like, hey, child, you're gonna be a pink?
I
Oh,
know.
Are
Like,
they
is it
also all
are they
16?
born?
Like, what is
Yeah,
I know,
going
we have to
yeah.
talk
on?
about that, I think, before we get
Why
into
is everyone
Yeah,
the
the
16?
16 thing.
And why do they
Yeah.
talk like they're 40?
Well, and
Yeah.
also, why is this a
Married,
trope
we
in
should say?
most like?
I don't know. I hate it.
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
a,
it.
like oh like.
I
This
think-
this
I
book
think
could have
the
been
idea-
easily the exact same way if they were in their mid-20s. It would have been the
Right.
same book.
Yeah.
I think the idea is like we right now as a society like value different things. Like their whole value system is on their productivity. So when he became a gold, the teenagers were teenagers. Like he even
And I-
commented on like they seem so carefree, they seem so much younger than me because
Yeah.
he lived in
He
a
was
place where like
married.
he was
And-
married, like his entire life purpose was to be productive. So
Mhm.
why wouldn't they build a society?
Well, you know, hey
that-
guys, this could be interesting. We never thought about this. He does live on Mars. Mars years are a lot longer.
They go-
Oh my God.
Don't they go by the Earth? Don't they talk about going by like the Earth? or
I'm sure
something?
they do,
I don't know,
but
I'm sure
maybe
they do.
I'm just trying to give him an out.
We're grasping at straws. We're grasping at straws.
Also, I mean, I guess their life expectancy is like way lower.
Yeah.
So they, it
Yeah.
progresses faster. Because they talk about how old one of the characters is, and they're like, he's so old, and then I get to him, and they're
He's
like,
50.
he's 30, he's 35. And I was like, oh my god, he's not that old.
Yeah,
He's got plenty
yeah.
of years left as a hell diver.
But yeah, it seems like
35.
your color isn't even necessarily given to you at birth. It seems like it's given to you based on your wealth and like your class in society. Like
Yeah, they don't
it's
really
Which-
talk about like moving classes either. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
687
It is wealth
days.
and
That's
class,
crazy.
but if it's by birth, then it's the same thing. Your wealth and class is chosen
It's
by
both,
birth.
I think, kind of like
Yeah.
clearly people from lower classes are able to like Fitchner's whole thing was that he was like not a gold by birth or something like that. He
Oh,
was, like,
yeah, that's
basically
right,
able
yeah.
to like make his way up.
work his way up.
Yeah.
To be
I-
barely a gold,
bronze.
let's be honest.
Something's a bronze, and I'm like,
Yeah,
wait,
then
what?
within the colors,
An
there's
i-
colors.
yeah, there's an iron gold. There's
Yeah.
That's
I
yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, there is a book called that. That explains why there's.
You
a
know,
book
that
called
reminds
Iron
me,
Gold. All right.
when I was in middle school, we were learning the caste system, and randomly all of the 7th graders were given a color on their hand. And, like, the different colors got different things that they
Maybe
were
the author
able
was
to,
in that
like,
class.
do or not do or something like that. And it was very reminiscent of this system. And, except...
I feel like
you know,
I was spoiled by, and I know I mentioned this to you guys as we were reading, but there's another book that came out more recently called The Will of the Many. It's the first it's the only one out, but it's the first in a long series. I think I was spoiled because I spent the whole book being like, Will of the Many did this better. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Simpsons.
Red Rising, and I think it's because there's so many books, and it's trying to probably set up a lot.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt like a lot.
It
like
was
it
a
felt
lot.
like
It
too
did.
much. I was kind of like, where am I supposed to look here?
It felt like not
What's
only did
going
it feel
on?
like a lot, but it also didn't feel super original every time. Like especially once they got in the game itself, it was like,
Right.
okay, he makes it to a certain level of leadership and then he gets screwed over, and then he makes
Yeah.
it to a certain level of leadership and then he gets screwed over.
He
and that
literally
just
gets
happened
cr-
over and
tricked by
over
the
and
same
over.
trick 2 times in
Oh
a
my
row.
God, I was like,
and
oh, God,
with it,
are
I
you
mean,
kidding me?
not
Within,
only
like,
2 times in
5
a row,
pages.
yeah, not only 2 times in a row, within like
With the
10
same
pages.
kid, too.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he's in a hole again, and he's like, oh my God, we gotta go right now. I
So
was like,
stupid, dude.
but he's 16.
Yeah.
So
They're
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I felt like I was
Well,
like
he's
really
18 by the time he's
invested.
in there. The transfer,
True.
you don't
Still
like
a
think
baby.
about that though. I will say the transformation of him going from a red to a gold takes 2 years. Like
Yeah,
he
they
goes
don't do
under
a
like
good job.
surgery and schooling and stuff for 2 or at least a year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Which is
There's
like
several times. There were several times in that process where it only like a couple. Well, I did the audiobooks. Only like a minute had passed,
Yep.
and he would say the last few months or the
And I was
last
like-
few weeks, and it would be like a new event, which would I would be like, oh well, then like a year has passed. Like
Yeah.
what the? It was so fast, and I felt like I was really invested through all of the like transformation and like what's gonna happen, and then when they got to the school, it felt like you said, like predictable. Like it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, we get it. This is, yep, he's gonna win. We know he's gonna.
Yeah.
We
You
know
know
he's
he's
the
yeah.
where this goes.
It also did
There's
some
7
things,
books.
Yeah, it
And it
also
was
did some
so
things.
long.
Yeah.
It did do some things really cool, like
Yeah,
the
there were
start,
really cool
the
moments
start
there.
of the school, specifically the passage.
Yeah, where they
was
immediately
really
cut half the
where you-
students.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
it
you
was
just
really
was
cool. Oh, that
where he was
was-
just put in a room with another person,
And
you
then you're
just had
sitting
to,
with the fact that you
Oh.
know he's lying about it. He's
Yes.
trying to
Yeah.
hide the fact that he killed this guy's brother. It's
I
like, if
know.
you would have just said it.
I
It's
feel
crazy.
bad for the people who said that they got put in a room with somebody like really like weak who didn't fight at all. Like what a
They
horrible
put the top
situation.
people against the bottom people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like
the whole
that.
system was
Well,
rigged
because
the
it's all
entire time.
it's fixed, yeah.
Yeah.
Which from the
Yeah.
beginning with the whatever it was called, the tribute thing with the
Yeah.
Helldivers.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It
I can't remember
was
what it's
very
called.
much
Feather.
like it. I will like overall, I enjoyed the book. Like
Yeah.
it, like as if it were a movie, I would be like, yeah, that was a fun movie. But like it's so clearly doing stuff that so many other people have done. Like even the way the like tributes were floating ahead. Like
Yeah.
there was
Hunger
tributes
Games.
in the Hunger Games and like
Okay,
in
but the
items
quote
that they would
on
throw
the front
down
of the
and-
book literally says
It does.
Ender, Katniss, and now Darrow,
Yeah.
Scott Sigler. That's of the millions of quotes that were written about this book.
I
when
should
the
have
first
known.
pick. That's what they put on the front cover of the book. It's like they're leaning into that to get the appeal, to get the book sold, which worked. So good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's familiar but original. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what I think a lot of people want.
Yeah.
It's a specific genre now with Hunger Games being
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like
Because you had Maze Runner, and then you had
Right. Divergent,
Divergent, and
Yeah.
then
you
I've
can't,
read
you
them all,
can't,
baby.
you can't
Like,
blame
oh.
him for
Yeah.
doing something that he knew was gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, people are gonna eat it up. So
It's
who
like
are we
the
to fault
court
him?
of blank and blank. It's like we'll just
Right.
keep churning them out, baby.
Open those.
Exactly.
Give me more
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
A blank of blank and blank.
Emily, I'm going to send you a link because I can't do it since I'm streaming.
Maze Runner made B so angry in middle school. I've never read it, but
Oh my god. Why did it make you angry? Now I need to know. Inquiring minds must know. I love Maze Runner in high school. Or middle school.
But Emily, if you can share your screen, the ending. Oh, I don't know the ending. Don't tell me spoilers. I'm just kidding.
oh, I have 10 pages left.
What's going on?
Come on. Come on.
But I made, for the fun of today's Charmed Reads, in the literal 20 minutes before we started this, so I only got 8 people in, I made a fan cast of of the main characters of Red
What?
Rising. So I thought we could show this and get in on
Oh
this.
my god. What?
So this is my Red Rising fan cast. Emily, if you want to go ahead and go forward.
Wait, this is so
Um,
funny. Oh my
I see.
god.
So
Yeah.
this is who I saw as Darrow, Nicholas Gilsantine. He was from Red, White, and Royal Blue, which Michael loves. But also, he's going to be playing the new He-Man in the new He-Man movie. So he's already playing this like blonde Adonis type figure. So I figured he could play Darrow. They would
do you
have to
think
make
he
him
could be
ugly
Darrow?
for the first battle.
I think they would have to cast 2 different people.
You think so? Just cast 2 different
Yeah.
people?
I mean, they
so like Timothy
transform him-
Chalamet turns into...
Oh my god.
turns into
I feel
him.
like they could use like makeup and prosthetics to make somebody like.
Yeah, I mean, look
a
at what they
little
did in
bit
Captain
grungier.
America with Chris Evans.
Stop,
Yeah, but I
Timothy
feel like they
Chalamet,
describe him-
2025.
Looking as like a completely different person.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it
mean,
would be.
yeah.
Honestly, I think you're right. I think it would be kind of cool if there was 2 different
Tim
people.
Chalamet.
Tim Chalamet. Okay, next.
Next.
I think that the role of I think EO is next. Yeah, Amanda
Oh.
Stenberg I think would do a good job
That's a
at
great
EO.
Great choice.
I
Okay,
was
also
torn
I want to talk
between...
about how freaking fast she died, so let's keep going.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I want to come
yeah,
back
yeah.
to this.
I was torn between her for this role and for Mustang, because I
Oh,
think that she could do either. But I chose EO for this one.
she's younger than Darrow.
She
Yeah,
Probably
is,
she
shouldn't
looks
show
young.
that on in the
yeah.
movie,
Oh,
but
also
she
I
is a
cast this
couple
as
years
if these
younger than
people
him.
were in their 20s.
Yeah.
Okay, good,
You have to.
Have to do that.
So okay, next. I forget. Cassius Jacob Elordi. I think that could, he's just like the very good looking, like
That's
tall, just like pretty boy. But also I think he's got some good acting chops. Jacob Elordi. Okay, next. I thought Kaylee Spaney. From Alien Romulus and Civil War. I thought she could be a good Mustang. She's kind of tiny. And the golds are like
she the younger, like the photographer in Civil War.
Yes,
she was okay. Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
I imagined Mustang as small. Actually, I imagined her as small. Yeah. Like
so I thought that.
small.
I thought that Kaylee. I think that she is going to be one of the next like big things. Kaylee Spaney.
Huh. I haven't
So
seen those movies, so I'm not sure. I believe you.
Oh, you should definitely watch them.
Civil War.
I think you would agree,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
I've not seen Alien.
Roke, David Johnson, also from Alien Romulus. He just won a BAFTA for his performance. Truly fantastic. And you can't understand it if you haven't seen the trailer.
You got to pick somebody so charismatic that they would get tricked so many times.
For real.
Oh my god.
Okay, next. Antonia. So.
Interesting choice.
Yeah,
but I like it.
Yeah, I thought that Sonoya. I thought that she. You've seen her in House of the Dragon. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, she looks so much younger here with the short hair.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you've seen her in
Badass.
Ex Machina either, but I think that she just puts on that like beautiful intimidation vibe that I think Antonia would have.
She could slit somebody's throat, and I
The
believe
strong, silent type.
Yeah.
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban
Oh
for
my
Fishner,
God,
I thought was
yes!
I thought that was a
Yeah.
good choice.
Oh, no,
I could definitely
In my head,
see
I
Fitchner
think
playing Carl
Fitchner's
Urban.
more of like a, I don't know,
Carl
like
Urban.
like a goober.
I know.
I think like Stephen Root is who.
Well,
I
my
pictured.
original thought was Woody Harrelson just redo Haymitch.
Right,
Oh
yeah.
my
you
god,
know
which
what
is
I mean?
basically what it is.
I also
yeah.
think another one that I thought of was Steve Zahn. I think that he
Yeah,
be
Steve Zahn
a
would be
funny
good.
Fitchner as well.
He was great in Silo recently. If
Um,
anybody seen the whole second season of Silo? Steve Zahn.
Oh, is he in it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the last one that I could get to, Severo, I thought that
Oh.
Barry Keoghan would do
I
a
mean,
good
put him
job.
in everything.
Exactly. Well, he just I think that he would be willing to go the distance with Severo.
You would, and you have to be weird to be Severo.
Yeah, Severo's a really weird character, and I thought that he would be able to do
He's got to be
that.
small.
Yeah.
You got to pick somebody small.
Exactly.
Which I
He's
feel like
kinda-
he's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that would be fun to talk
Wow,
about.
I love that. We should do that.
That's
too.
fun.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
so
like that.
if I thought that maybe when we do other ones, we can do little fan casts if we were to do it.
Next
love
time we
that.
should each pick a character or like
Yeah.
assign each of us a
Oh,
character.
that's fun. Yeah,
So
yeah.
That's really good.
You can stop sharing your screen. That's it. That's all we got.
Oh my god.
But that does lead me into one thing that I was going to say that I do think was a strength of this book was actually all of the other characters. I thought that like, what do you disagree?
I was gonna say I said I did not like Darrow.
Oh, I didn't like Darrow either. No,
Yeah,
I
I
think
didn't
that
like Darrow either.
Darrow
He was a
fell in.
whiny
The
little
worst part of
prick.
this book, yeah, he's so
Darrow
angry.
fell
I
into
get it, but-
the same trope that I think Frodo, and the same trope that I think
Whoa,
Harry
dude.
Potter. Dude, I'm sorry, I'm
I
gonna
was
say
like,
it. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
say
lump
it.
Darrow in with Frodo Baggins?
Dude, Frodo, Harry Potter, Darrow, all they do is fucking complain about how hard.
You know
their
the
life
way
is.
that is on
Frodo
Frodo.
had a reason.
Oh my god!
The fate of Middle Earth.
Frodo just needed to only listen and do what Sam said, and everything would have been fine. But Frodo
But the
had to
temptation
mess
and
it
the
up.
weight.
Oh, whatever. Frodo
Magic,
complained
dude.
way too much, dude.
Magic, dude.
He complained way too much.
He tried to leave to not complain, and then people got mad at
Yeah,
him.
what that was main character syndrome is what that was. That was what Zach does when he plays D&D. Like that was the I'm gonna go leave so everybody checks on me and make sure I'm okay. That's what Frodo did. All right.
You know you have done that a couple times.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm
that's it.
self-aware.
Oh my
We do in
God.
games what we want people to do in real life. You know,
No,
I
you
want my
have
friends to
to
call me and check on me. So.
I will not sit here and
Please call
I know
me.
things are heating up. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and just take Frodo slander. Say that he's a weak character.
Listen,
well, I guess that's the end of our show, guys.
I never called him a weak character. Not
I guess
once
he
did I
just
call him a weak
complains a lot.
character.
You're
I
right,
just
you're
said
right.
he complains a lot.
Will have to say that I was kind of pissed that EO died.
Yeah.
I
She was
think
only there to
that-
serve as the
I
inspiration.
think
for
that
the-
is how that. and don't.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
know,
with
I
you,
know,
Kelsey.
I know.
Let me just
I'm over
step
that.
up here
Yeah,
for
no.
a second
Please.
Yeah,
and
please.
say
I'm fucking over
every
it.
single fucking book does this to the
Yes.
female character.
Yeah.
God damn it! So
Yeah.
please stop.
Because like
Gay
from what it
female
sounds
characters.
like from the way they were describing her is that Io could have been the main character of this book.
It
Io
would've
could
been
have
way
done
more interesting.
Io
It
could have
would've
done
been
what
way more
Darrow
interesting.
did, which was become a gold
He
and
could
get
have
into
done
the
it
system.
way faster. She would
Yeah.
have been way more efficient. She
Yeah.
would have been way more motivated.
Yeah.
But instead, we just hear about her
Uh.
fucking ex, who's just so sad about it the entire time.
She just has to be a
Literally.
martyr. It takes her destruction for the male in her life to be successful.
And I hate
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
hate that
That's
trope. I
do
hate
too.
that trope.
Yeah.
I will say the
Yeah.
one
Fuck
thing
that
that I
trope.
did like about Darrow was anybody else?
That
I like when
sums
he
it
got
up.
attacked by that bear. That was fun. I like that.
We
I was
got
hoping Severo
Revenant.
would become the main character after that part that he just died, and Severo's.
I
Oh,
did think
okay.
that the one cool thing that I didn't see coming was him bear.
Yeah,
there was
it's a
bear.
bloodback bear. It's
Mars
called.
Bear.
It's a-
Trust me, Bees, you have no idea.
There's so many weird things that come out of nowhere. And
They
this is
describe it
like
as pretty much a big bear.
Yeah.
real big.
Yeah.
This is insane. It is. But what was I saying?
One thing you did
I
like.
don't know.
One thing.
Oh
Darrow-
yeah. When he is like stuck in this hard place where he knows that this asshole, he's gotta like prove himself and step up, and everyone's like just kill him or whatever, and he
Like,
like
be a
offers the whip to him.
That was cool.
He basically like he doles out the punishment to the person who committed the atrocity, but then he says, and it's just as much my fault for not for letting this happen,
Yeah.
on my watch. I'm in charge, so here you go, do the same for me, and then we're even. And that was kind of a cool spin. I don't think I've seen that done before.
Well, that was cool, and I do think that there was a couple of moments that Darrow really showed not only good leadership, but like crazy smart strategy and like really cleverness. But it always felt like it came out of nowhere. It was like, where did you learn this? Where did you what made you
From
think
digging
of this?
in the mines.
You're 18 years old. I just I don't understand. Also, I get it. You're from the mines. Him comparing everything to a pit viper.
It's just
and,
like that. Yeah.
and like comparing it,
How many times are you gonna say pit viper?
How many times
How
are you gonna
many
say
times-
piss?
Dude.
He said, literally, I thought the author had to be from the UK because of the sheer amount of piss in this book.
So much.
That and then just the swears. I know it's fantasy and you gotta have new swears. but
Bloody
my God,
damn.
did it make me laugh?
Gory
Bloody
damn.
damn. And he says it like bloody damn in the book.
Yeah.
too. So you're like,
Yeah.
what?
I read the whole book basically as Christian Bale's Batman, and maybe that's why I didn't like Darrow.
Oh, that's good. That's
He takes a piss on everything, so well, I'm gonna piss on that and piss on you. It's like, all right, dude, I get it.
Okay.
You're in a piss play. It's okay.
Yeah.
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 Stop writing books about.
All right,
18-year-olds.
Pierce Brown, you love piss. You heard it here first. Pierce Brown is into piss.
You know what? We're shitting on the book a lot, but I mean, I would say it was like if this is your thing,
It was fine.
you're gonna like it. You
Yeah.
know, like if this
Also,
like
from the beginning.
it's also only the
Right.
beginning for sure. True.
I've heard that the other ones are better, is what I've heard. I haven't read them myself, but
Yeah, we thought so too because he would use words like make love to his wife.
Oh yeah, I make love to my
Yeah.
wife at 16.
At
You're like,
16.
hello? Bloody damn.
Bloody damn at least sounds somewhat like a swear. Gory damn is
And
just
that was the fancier
and
one.
that was
Yeah,
the
the gory
fancy one.
They're
damn.
like,
Yeah.
don't say
Yeah.
bloody damn. If you say
Yeah.
bloody, they're gonna know.
They're gonna know
maybe
you're
I
a
just
rat.
read through this part too quickly, but him being like emotional with Mickey, like why did that
Who's
happen?
Mickey? Wait, who's Mickey?
I don't remember
Mickey's,
Mickey. Who's Mickey?
Mickey's the one that
What's
like
going
taught
on?
him society and stuff.
Oh,
and,
the
like,
Oh,
guy
right.
who, oh, the pink who was
yeah,
like taking care of him.
but he like cried when he left, and there was a moment in the game when he remembered
I
Mickey
think-
and how great Mickey was, and I
I
was
don't
like,
know.
who
Maybe it was
fuck
one of the
is
first
Mickey?
people who showed him like
That
real
was-
compassion,
Maybe,
like after
yeah.
when he was
Maybe.
That
becoming
was
a
the
gold.
I think-
Effie, was my understanding, was there was an Effie and there was a Hamish.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Honestly.
Honestly, there was a Effie and a Haymitch. It truly was Hunger Games in space.
It was really just Hunger
Barely in
Games.
space, dude.
With the male
Barely in
protagonist.
space.
So what did
Barely
we
in
improve?
Yeah,
Nothing, really.
yeah, nothing. There was no volunteering, I guess.
With bears, that's right.
With
bears.
bears, yeah.
Which there should have been at least one bear.
But there was some moments that stood out. All of them, imagining the people at that castle seeing a bunch of warriors come out of dead wolves.
That was really
was like that's really
horses,
insane.
dead horses.
Dead horses. Yeah.
That was my favorite part of the book, is them cutting themselves out of the dead horses.
I mean,
to
imagine
attack the
seeing that happen.
unsuspecting.
And
Like,
then they called
that's
them-
insane.
They referred to that group
As the dead
something.
horses.
As
The
the
dead
dead
horses,
horses,
which
yeah,
was
yeah.
so
Which was
fucking
cool.
cool. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really cool. That's true.
I love
they
that
were
we
wild.
had I love that we had Pax. Pax was great.
Oh,
Pax was
Pax.
cool. Well, had.
Had,
Peace.
yeah.
He did not need to die, and I will die on that hill. I
No,
don't
he
think he
didn't.
needed to
Yeah.
die.
He didn't.
And it was like, I
No.
felt it was very unnecessary. I
Yeah.
All
felt
the best people died.
right. All the characters I like, died.
Yeah, that's
except Severo, but
Also, I feel like Mustang being the twin of the Jackal came out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere, and then it really didn't affect
And
anything.
then,
because she
it didn't affect anything.
And so I
it
was
didn't
kinda
come out of
pissed. I was like,
nowhere. They were
wait.
talking about like, you don't know who she is. Like that they like Fitchner was saying that like earlier. That's why I thought that she
You
was.
can't trust her. You
Yeah.
can't trust. Why?
Yeah.
You can't just don't trust her.
Oh, you don't know who
Okay,
she is, do you?
but
Or something like
she's
that.
hot. No, but don't trust her. Don't trust her.
But she's
Yeah, it did build
hot.
up to this big like the Jackal was very disappointing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
They built up
He was
this
just
whole
a
thing to him
dude.
and the Jackal,
Well,
and
he's
then
like a psychopath, but
he did
But
cut
but
him.
he,
And
they
their
got
dads are
and
just,
he
like,
got him
really
like that
sexist.
though. Like he
Yeah.
got in the
Yeah.
room with the Jackal like that, like
and that was
super
really
easily.
and it was really freaking cool because he's not gonna do it, and then he did it, and you were like, oh, and then he died. And you were like, okay, well.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly.
No, he didn't. He didn't die. Did he?
No, she's talking about the hand thing, I think. Right?
Didn't they
No,
kill him later, or they
No,
didn't kill him?
he comes back at the end like shackled, and then
Oh,
he's
that's
still
right,
alive.
that's
Mustang goes and shackles him and brings him back,
That's right.
Oh, right,
which
right,
was
right.
the, very
I couldn't remember.
anticlimactic.
I thought he died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like getting ready for war because Mustang and the Jackal are returning.
It was like
And then
the
Mustang
big
and the
battle
Jackal
between
come
him and
back.
the Jackal.
And then they just like,
And then I was
Like
like,
the whole
the
second half of the
book is
book.
gonna be enemies to lovers, and they're gonna. It didn't happen.
And then the very end of the book, he is accepted into the family of
The guy-
the Jackal
Mustang.
and Mustang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's Mustang's brother now?
No,
Basically.
Well,
I
like-
mean they do make.
Kind of.
I mean, yes,
it's like an
kind
adoption.
Of,
yeah.
yes, kind
He's
of,
more
but
of-
they also do make it clear that he's not
More
like
of an
family.
apprentice.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
more of
yeah.
an
Yeah.
apprentice situation,
Yeah.
but yes,
It's more of a
Emily, I had the
ward.
same
It's more of
exact
like a
thought,
ward.
And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
hmm.
It's more of a Robin.
Yeah, it's more of
Yeah.
a Theon Greyjoy coming to Winterfell type situation.
Hmm.
Let's
So,
hope so.
Kelsey.
I just got really sad. All
Well, I don't know. We talked about it.
Will
Any
you guys
other-
read more books? I'm curious. Will you read the next one?
No,
I probably won't.
no, I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
I feel like I'm intrigued just enough to want to know what happens,
Yeah.
but I didn't read it right after, which means I'm probably not going to.
If I'm thinking about it in another couple months,
Yeah.
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 Will I watch the movies when they come out? Yes.
Chat, if you
do that.
read and then you read the next one and it's good, let us know.
yeah, let us
If
know.
you guys read it, I'll read it for
Yeah,
sure.
if you guys
But-
read it and
Honestly.
say it's good, I will read it.
But hey, do you
I-
like talking to us about books? What books do you want us to talk about? Do you?
Yeah, what are your favorite
Yeah, what
books? I know
books
you
do you
like
want us to read?
Sanderson and Mistborn and Stormlight, which I also
We
wanna
all
read,
also just recently read the book Dark Matter,
which was great.
which was great.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
we can
talk about
definitely
that
talk
too.
about that.
Crouch.
We probably
Angie's
will
gotta
do that
finish
one
it,
next,
and then yeah, Angie needs to finish. She just got it,
And then we can talk about that one.
We can talk
yeah.
about that one.
Stormlight. Hey, bees, if I could get them all to read Stormlight, that would be amazing.
It's too long.
Talk for weeks about Starlight. Oh.
Stormlight would be. Oh God, I'll even
Hit me
do
up over
like.
summer break.
Let's talk about like half and half of the book. Like we could like. We'll talk about the first half of Way of Kings and then the second half of Way of Kings.
Does it read fast at all, or is it just
Yeah, I'd say yeah. No, for sure. There's
The people are begging for it, guys.
The
I don't know,
people are begging. I mean, it's like
How
it
many
is.
hours
There's definitely like political
is this audio?
intrigue and stuff that that at times can seem slow, and there's a lot of characters and different points of view. But but
So it's called The Way of Kings. That's the first one
The Way of Kings is the first one
Of Stormlight.
of Stormlight.
of Stormlight. Yeah.
You'd say Stormlight over Mistborn? B, like that's
Stormlight
your.
Archive.
I mean, if you're getting into
Girl,
Sanders, if
the
you're just
first
getting
book?
into Sanderson,
Yeah, first Sanderson book.
45 hours
Yeah,
and 30
I'm out.
minutes.
Yeah.
What?
if you're just getting into Sanderson and you want to see what he writes like, Mistborn's way easier
Just-
to digest.
Is it
He's just getting
shorter?
into Mistborn.
Mistborn is shorter.
We can work our way up.
We'll work our way.
Yeah.
If a book's over 300 pages,
Listen,
it's...
maybe I'll just do a Charmed Reads just myself, or maybe you guys, maybe you
Yeah.
and
Wait,
Etopics
they
can
could
come
come
on
on-
here,
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
they
Yeah.
should come
and we
on.
can
We
all talk
have to
about
do
the
it.
Stormlight
There you go.
Archive.
You guys can tell us about it so we don't have to read all of it.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, give us.
I'm
the-
gonna have to-
I'll watch
report.
the episode of you guys talking about it for sure.
I'm gonna have
Yes.
to remind myself.
Shouting
Please
from
shouting
the
from the rooftop. Let's do
rooftop.
it. Let's do it.
Oh my
I'm
God,
down.
dude. That's
We'll have
amazing.
another Charmed Reads.
Somebody else has read it too.
Hell
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah, it's a
we could get.
very-
several people.
Matt has read it, so we can get Matt in on
Okay,
it.
we'll get mad at it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That would
If
be-
I mean, if he does know how to read.
yes,
uh,
and B's
I think he just kind of absorbs books.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
that makes sense to
I
me.
think that is what he does.
Yeah. So I'm holding to his
Um,
hand.
Yes.
Yes, I'm down. I'm down.
That could be it.
Um,
We do
we'll be in
Dark Matter, and
contact.
then we do that one.
Yeah, we'll do Dark Matter next, probably, and then we'll do
And then we'll do Stormlight.
Stormlight.
So if you want to start reading Dark Matter, so that you. talk
Yeah, it's
Quick.
actually
Yeah.
a super fast.
Kelsey
read.
finished it in about 20 minutes.
I
Yeah.
read it in 4 hours.
These
spread
buddy
throughout
reads,
the day, but 4 hours. I could.
Yeah.
not
these
have
buddy
stopped.
reads have turned us into very competitive. Not turned us.
No.
Turned
I
us?
Very
am,
competitive.
and I
Turned
keep
us?
that hidden. I keep that very hidden. And Eric came out and said that he could read faster than me, and so I had to win.
Yeah, and
So
she
I had to show
absolutely
up.
crushed me.
did.
I did.
I canceled all my plans.
I got
I'm
a little
still-
nervous because I had to go to lunch, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's gonna read it when I'm at lunch."
I had
and
to
then
go
I'm
too.
not.
If I would have been able to stay home, I think I could have maybe lost 2 by less.
I'm very comfortable with my average reading speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not gonna do that again. I just got excited.
I just
And
don't
it
think
was
it's
a
healthy
really
to
good
absorb
book. I
words
couldn't
that fast.
stop.
Is what I think it
You
is.
share bookmarks
But
on
that
Audible,
book in
and it's always
particular-
very fast.
that
It was like
book in
each
particular-
sentence was like.
It was like so small. Like the reading.
Yeah,
the
actually,
physical
I didn't want to
book,
call this out,
flew
but
by.
I am gonna call this out. When you talked about how I pointed out how the book was written to you, that was actually about Dark Matter. When I
Oh,
did that.
well.
Because I was pointing out
What
how
happens when I've read 2 books since
for
this
sure, because
month,
I was
so
pointing
why
out
not?
how because Eric, as a person who read the actual book, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is like one line after
Yeah.
one line. It's like very truncated.
Every
very,
sentence
like,
is a new line. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was curious because I asked her about that because I was curious if the audiobook was stunted in that way. If it was like,
Audiobook.
just like thought after, but like not really.
Huh.
I don't know how you would be able to tell, but it was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Um,
read it. I would imagine they read it smoothly, but yeah, I don't know. I read this
Yeah.
one physical, so.
Because when you have a paragraph, like you would say the ending sentence of a paragraph probably different than you would say it if it was
Yeah.
this whole line.
I will
by
say
line.
I definitely prefer reading the physical books for these because it's more correct putting in the page number and then
Yeah.
seeing where everyone else is.
Well,
'cause
you can
I-
change that. You can update that.
Yeah, but when you
Yeah,
change,
but with
it's not
Audible,
always
it doesn't
accurate.
actually show you a percentage either. I had to do the math every single time. I had
Oh,
to
no,
really?
no,
divide.
Kelsey, there's a way to do that. There is a way to.
It's
I'll
a
tell
web.
you
I mean,
that.
it's a website.
But it's
that
not
you
on my
use.
phone, right? I can't
No.
see it on the phone app. It's only
might
if you
be
look
able to
at
do
it
it
on
on-
your Amazon or your Kindle TV. There's some Kindle app on
No,
your
no,
TV.
on
I gotta get a
Storygraph, you can
Oh.
change the version to
Oh.
the audio version,
Yeah.
and it'll let you put in what hour and minute you're at.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would've
that's
been
what I
a
was
lot
talking about. You
easier.
can
Not
change the
100%
edition.
accurate, but
Wow, that would have been a lot easier. Yeah, I was doing the math every time and I was wrong. So I would hedge it and I would say I was earlier than I was in Red
Yeah.
Rising,
That's smart.
and then I would try not to post comments. So I was glad that I was behind for the whole book because I was like, I'm gonna be wrong and I'm gonna post something and I'm gonna spoil it for them. Oh, jeez.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody,
Yeah.
and thanks
That was.
to my friends for reading with me.
For reading.
reading is good.
What is everybody
Reading is
reading right now?
Fundamental.
What is everybody's
Um,
current reads?
I don't want to talk about what I'm reading. I hate reading it. I'm almost
You don't,
done.
you don't want to put it out there.
I
okay?
don't want to publicize it, but I have to finish it.
I will
Maybe
hype
it
the
was a
Emily
delight to
Wilde
have you guys in the chat. It was great.
trilogy. The Compendium of Lost Tales just came out last week, and it was very good. So all three of them were very good. Highly recommend.
I'm reading Making Money, which is part of the Discworld series, which I love the Discworld series. And I don't know if anybody else, none of you have read any of the Discworld?
No, but I know about it.
It's great. I like it a lot.
I've been struggling to find a book recently, but I did just finally start, and I think I will be able to finish Murderbot's Diaries, the first one.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've read them all. I
know.
love them. Some of my favorites.
Basically, so I can talk to you about it.
They're making a show with
Apple
Skarsgård.
TV.
Yeah.
I love Skarsgård.
Which I love.
Bill,
Skarsgård.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The one who does
No, the
motion
older
capture.
one.
Alexander.
Yeah, Alexander.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. All of them are good.
That's why I read. That's part of the reason why I wanted to read this book, because in that book they talk about terraforming and stuff, and I love books about terraforming, and that's why I wanted to read this. And then they fucking.
You
pulled the
love
back off.
books about terraforming.
Have you read? It's not terraforming, but it's kind of terraforming adjacent.
You read books about wizards. What the fuck is the difference?
Wizards are so much cooler than terraforming.
No, dude.
Andy.
No,
Weir,
but I like to
Andy
think that
Weir
you're reading books like
Andy Weir. I read Project Hail Mary.
Oh yeah, Project Hail Mary.
Did you read The Martian?
I did recently read The Martian.
Okay,
I like Project Hail Mary better.
I agree.
But I
that's my
like The
favorite
Martian
because
book better than the movie. There's so much more that happens in the book.
I actually cried. Project Hail Mary.
I might do the audiobook this year because you and Evan both said that the audiobook was
so
fantastic.
good. I was crying on the train.
Eric, when you say you like books about terraforming, I'm kind of stuck on this.
Can you say that one more time without laughing?
When you say you like books about terraforming, do you like books that are fiction that have aspects of terraforming in them, or do you like to read books about the ins and outs and the how-tos of terraforming?
I've never read a book about like the actual ins and outs, but it's fiction. But I would read
What I was asking is there something about the like for instance, for me, I love reading about an apocalypse. There's something about the aspect of an apocalypse that is very entertaining to me. So is there something about? So is there? What'd you say?
Station 11. You should.
Station 11. Oh, I know Station 11.
Station 11.
So do you like terraforming as in like you like the aspect of like societies built around terraforming and stuff like that? Like in the same way
that I just love sci-fi books about going to far off planets and that type of stuff.
And finding the local flora and fauna.
Yeah, which I just read.
So you're a colonizer.
Is that where this whole thing was leading to, really?
No.
After all of this, okay,
no, that was a random.
I read To Be Taught If Fortunate, which is not terraforming, it's soma forming, where they're changing their own bodies to fit the planets that they're going to in like the 30 years in between travel. So they wear like different patches and they make themselves more muscular if the gravity's higher. So that was a good one. I'd recommend that one. Yeah.
Cool.
Terraforming.
Wizards.
It's the future.
Terraforming wizards.
Terraforming wizards. Let's go.
Wizards
Somebody write
terraforming,
a
that would
long
make it
shot.
so much easier.
My next D&D character.
There is.
You gotta terraform.
Terraforming.
Yeah.
Terraforming.
There is an aspect of
Exactly.
terraforming in the Stormlight Archive.
Wizard, or is it?
It's not.
Don't try to trick me into
How
reading.
many hours?
Don't try to
into
trick me into
your
reading a
5 hours
1,000-page
do I
book
have to
by
go to
2
find the
pages of
terraforming? Zach. How
They
many
do mention it
How
on the
many
second to last
hours?
page, so
How many hours? Yes, Shaper.
Have you ever thought of a world? Just think of a world that has large,
Sorry.
giant crabs
large and giant.
with gems as a heart.
Where is this going?
Then you should read Stormlight Archive.
I think that's all we have for you today, folks.
There's a Stormlight CTRPG.
We continue.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. Okay, thanks everybody for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
We'll do this again soon.
We'll do it
I'm
again.
sure.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Thanks for joining us in the chat, Inked Eldritch Bees. That was so nice of you.
Yes.
And Eric, do our classic sign off for Charmed Reads.
All right. As always at Charmed Reads, we always say a book a day is good for you.